If you want to decompress in the midst of feeling stressed, going out into nature is one of the best things you can do. In this video, we'll talk about the scientific evidence of how nature walks positively affect you. But I will also share a few personal stories. I'm Hanni and you're watching Tea Time, where I help you become the best version of yourself so you can live your best life. Okay, let's talk about the research first. In a clinical study done by Dr. Joe Dispenza, they proved that 2 hours of nature sounds a day significantly reduces the stress hormones up to 800% and activates 500 to 600 different DNA segments known to be responsible for healing and repairing the body. Now you might say, who has the time to be out in nature for 2 hours? But just to clarify, this study focused on nature sounds. So you could be putting a tape on or a YouTube channel or an app of birds chirping, rain falling, rivers flowing, or the crashing sounds of the ocean waves. Also, research by positive psychology showed that nature helps in regulating your emotions and improves your memory. They asked people to go out for a walk and found that those who took a nature walk did better on a memory test than those who walked, let's just say, down an urban street. Another study showed that people suffering from mild to major depressive disorder showed significant mood enhancements when exposed to nature. Not only that, but they were also more motivated and energized to recover. You know, when you start investigating why nature is so healing, research revealed that being outdoors reduces stress by lowering your stress hormone cortisol. Besides that, it also makes us immune to problems like higher blood pressure or any other cardiovascular issues. Have you personally experienced how nature can put your mind at ease? Have you seen positive effects? Please leave me a comment. I'd love to hear them. You know, I personally go for a walk most days, but ever so often, I want to say life comes in between, but really it's my responsibility and I don't get out of the house for a few days. The thing is that latest on day 3, I find myself being irritable and way too much in my head. Like the other day, I felt down and I had a pretty negative view on, well, everything. I knew I had to get out of the house, so I went for a 45-minute walk just in the park around the house. And what a difference it made. By the time I got back home, I not only felt better, but I was also energized to act on a few to-dos that I actually really didn't look forward to doing. And I was okay with doing them then. You know, in the midst of this COVID pandemic, Michelle on the JOYn team gave herself a challenge. What initially started out as a challenge to walk 100 miles in 1 month turned into her walking 200 miles. She said little did she know that this daily routine would lead her back to a true and deep connection to herself. She found so much peace and joy in those walks. I love an analogy that Michelle made. She said, nature in the most basic and purest sense brings us back to our roots by reminding us of what is really essential in our lives. As the seasons change, we're reminded of the natural cycle of life, which we all experience. Spring, summer, fall, and winter, some seasons are more challenging than others. And this is the ebb and flow of life as well. It's the ups and downs that we experience. However, there's always one constant, that all flowers will always bloom again, that the grass will always get green again, and things will refresh and renew and restore themselves. Isn't that beautiful? And I find it so true and applicable for our lives too. So I encourage you to get out into nature, into the woods, a park, sit at a lake. Do it as often as you can. Leave the phone turned off in your pocket. This is not the time to multitask, but rather allow your senses to kind of be enveloped by the calming effects of Mother Nature. Well, I will enjoy sipping on my peppermint tea, but all this talk about going outside into nature, I think I'm going to take a break right after this. Do you want to come with me? Well, don't wait. Put your shoes on. Let's go. Cheers.